This right here is a story of greatness, but you knew what you was getting yourselves into when you bought a console instead of a PC. And this is a reflection of it. What's up, y'all? It's the Gaming Zone, bringing you your daily gaming news. And without further ado, let's get into it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is underperforming sales-wise, analyst claims. The game has reportedly sold about half of what Remake did in the same time frame. Now, I don't know if I spoke on this yet. I know this story has been around for quite some time now, and I'm just now getting to it. But that's because I wanted to create a story for you guys. So real quick, story time. I personally have never played Final Fantasy VII, the remake, the new one, the old one. My first entry into the Final Fantasy series was actually Final Fantasy X2. I didn't play X till later. But when it comes to Final Fantasy VII, and they first initially announced the remake for the game, I was excited. Here we are. Finally, I could play Final Fantasy VII, the game that everyone was raving about. I could play this new updated version with better graphics and everything onto it. However, we soon learned, spoilers real quick in case you guys didn't know, we soon learned that Final Fantasy Remake isn't a remake at all. It's a retelling of Final Fantasy VII. It's a different game from what the original Final Fantasy VII is. The remake Final Fantasy VII is more like a continuation of the first Final Fantasy VII, or like an alternate dimension, or like a secondary timeline to the original Final Fantasy VII. The point is, I was halfway through the first one, remake, until when I realized what was going on, I stopped playing the game because I came in with a specific thing in mind. So I just didn't finish it. Now, a few months, years later, more people started to find out that the Final Fantasy game isn't what they thought it was, and that they found out the same thing that I found out. It's not the Final Fantasy game that we all was hoping for. Now, with that being said, Final Fantasy Rebirth is out, and it's so-called underperforming. I don't think that it's underperforming. I think that you key jangled us for the first game. You got our money. We found out it was a trick. And now we're not buying back into this. We know what we wanted. You gave us something that we didn't want. And this is a reflection of it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is reportedly underperforming commercially. That's according to Daniel Amon, Director of Research and Insight at Nico's Partners, who said the PS5 game has been faring worse than its predecessor following the release in February. Rebirth is underperforming sales-wise, he said on X. It's selling about half of what Remake sold in the same time frame and looks like it'll have a weaker tail, Amon added. Final Fantasy VII Remake was released for the PS4 in April 2020 when the console had an installed base of 100 million units. Shipments of the game topped 3.5 million in the first 3 days, according to the publisher Square Enix, which hasn't announced Rebirth sales data. In comparison, Rebirth was released a few months after PS5 hit 50 million sales. Last week, market research Ampere Analysis said Rebirth peaked at 2.21 million daily active users, including the demo players at launch. Square Enix recently gave fans an update on the status of the third and final part of the Final Fantasy Remake trilogy. In the company's Final Fantasy VII Remake Ultimania book, Rebirth creative director Tetsuya Nomura reportedly said that the third game's main story has already been completed and that he thinks voice recording could start in the near future. Final Fantasy VII Remake series producer Yoshinori Katsane also says Square Enix managed to make Rebirth in about 3 years, partly thanks to the employee retention. By retaining much of the same team for the third game in the series too, he reportedly hopes to complete the final part of the trilogy in a similar time frame. One more thing about Final Fantasy VII, right? The original Final Fantasy VII, I think it was like 3-4 discs, it was something ridiculous. Again, never played it, so I wouldn't know. They are releasing this game in parts. The whole story is being released in parts, not discs, parts. So that means in order for you to actually experience the whole story and the whole game, you gotta buy each part. And I think they're what, $60, $70 a piece? So you could spend upwards of $210 buying three $70 games just so you can understand the story and what's going on. Now I know there are a lot of other elements that come with it, gameplay and all this other stuff, but to me this was a scam in my opinion. If you ask me, this was a total scam. I'm not about to buy a game 3 different times just so I can hear the story. And it'll be different if it was DLC. It'll be different if you release the game and then there's DLC afterwards, charging each DLC maybe $30 a piece. Cool. You are making 3 separate games, it feels like. I think it is. I'm not sure. I'm just speaking out of my head right now. You are making 3 separate different games and each charging them the full price of $60, $70. It didn't sit with me. It didn't sit with me. And I'm starting to realize now, like, I'm not the only person here that feels this way. I don't think it's sitting with a lot of gamers. I don't think it's sitting with a lot of people who were into the Final Fantasy VII original game. That's all I have for y'all on this topic. Next topic. This right here is a story of greatness. We all at some point wanted to be that guy. Well, here's a story about one of those guys. Destiny 2 dev thought it would be impossible for someone to clear the MMO FPS's new horde mode solo until now. I'll never underestimate this player base again. I hereby bestow the ultimate honor. You're that guy. There was plenty of games I wanted to be that guy on. I never had the dedication or the attention span to actually sit there to try to become that guy. Destiny 2's latest big update, Into the Light, launched with a hardcore horde mode called Onslaught that at least one member of the development team thought would be impossible for a solo player to complete. You can probably guess where this is going. Somebody has already soloed Onslaught on its highest difficulty. That someone is a French player who goes by the name Zenorous? Zenorous? Pretty cool name. Overnight, they tweeted the result screen for the world's first solo Onslaught legend. You can check out the stats readout below. 90 minutes, 1,676 kills, and all 50 waves cleared. It doesn't look like there's a video of the clear available yet, but members of the dev team at Bungie are already offering congratulations. This is the tweet with the actual results. When Onslaught was first detailed, associate designer Noah Lee reckoned that it would be impossible to solo. I'll never underestimate this player base again, Lee tweeted in response to Zenorous' accomplishments. I hereby bestow the ultimate honor. You're that guy. And indeed, Zenorous has taken the moniker with pride, making it a part of their Twitter profile. I ain't gonna lie, I would do the same thing. Into the Light is sort of a stopgap content update intended to help fill the final months leading up to the long-awaited Destiny 2 Final Shape expansion. On top of Onslaught, it's also brought back some of the most broken guns in MMO history, though Bungie has asserted they're a bit less broken now. Speaking of things being broken, I love when games basically say, here, break my game. I dare you. I want you to. Because you're not going to beat this game without breaking my game. Noida is a perfect example of games where you're not going to win unless you break the game. Hell, in Noida, you essentially need the wiki to even understand what's going on in that game. But this report isn't about Noida. So back to Destiny 2. Well, yeah, I think the guy is right. You shouldn't underestimate your player base. Some of these guys have way too much time on their hands. I'm actually considered one of those guys with too much time on my hands. If your game is fun, if people enjoy playing it, see, people will put in the time to do these type of things for your game. People will take the time to try to get these accomplishments because it makes the gamer feel good and the developer that did this stuff, it could make them feel good. We'll talk about that some other time. Next topic. So I wanted to highlight this and all the recent Fallout news that's been coming out. You know, we got the series that came out. I've yet to watch it. I hear a lot of mixed reviews on it. One side says it's great. The other side says it sucks and it ruins the original Fallout lore. Again, I'm a little late to the Fallout series. Not like the TV series, but like the Fallout series, the games in general. My first Fallout game was actually Fallout 4. I liked it. I never actually beat it. With Fallout 4, I did at least 3 different characters. Put in at least 50 hours for each character. Never beat the game. The thing I like about Fallout 4, there was so many side quests, so many things to do, the builds, everything. You didn't have to beat the game. It was almost kind of like Skyrim. I know a lot of people who beat every mission in Skyrim except for the main mission. Fallout 4 was like that for me. I never beat it. I did go and check out what the ending of the story was, so I had no desire to beat it. I've experienced my fun with the game. It is what it is. Fallout London has bad news for console gamers. Fallout London project lead confirmed some unfortunate but expected news for the console fans following another reveal that was bad news for all fans. The creators of Fallout 4 ambitious Fallout London mod has confirmed that the project won't be available on consoles once it's released. News that many fans have already suspected. The intriguing Fallout 4 mod has recently run into a new set of issues due to the major update coming soon. Fallout 4 will receive a substantial patch on April 25th that adds new gen support to the PS5 and Xbox Series XS. After the update announcement, many who had been patiently waiting Fallout London became worried that the major update could create new issues for the mod, which was slated for the April 23rd release. These worries were confirmed when the Fallout London mod team announced that the project launch was delayed to an unspecified date. As part of the same announcement, the team also explained why Fallout London's coming to the console is simply not possible. In a video posted to Team Fallout's YouTube channel, Fallout London project team leader Dean Carter said the mod is far too large, around 30 to 40 gigabytes, sheesh, to be supported on consoles. While many had long assumed that the PlayStation release was impossible due to the platform's strict modding rules, some had held out hopes for the Xbox release of Fallout London. However, Carter made it clear that this is out of the question. He said he had hoped last-second improvement in Fallout 4 approach update will allow for Fallout London to be released on Xbox, but these improvements seem to not have materialized. As for PC users, the mod is so big that it can't be released through Nexus Mod and instead being released through GOG. When it finally releases, Fallout London will introduce a large map the size of Fallout 4 original level, plus the Far Harbor DLC. The Fallout London's mod is set in English capital and features almost entirely new lore due to England's post-apocalyptic world being so far removed from the United States. Vault Tech and FEV monsters like super mutants and Deathclaws are nowhere to be seen, and new factions like Gentry and Tommies presumably play an important role in London's story. It's still unclear when Fallout London will eventually become available, but in the meantime, fans can enjoy a smaller scale mod like the one that adds Lucy Pistol from Fallout TV show to Fallout 4. In fact, Amazon's new show has called the entire franchise to enjoy a resurgence in popularity. Every Fallout game has increased player numbers in recent weeks, along with Amazon's premiere. This was also added by a free trial for Fallout 76 that is still available and a major update for Fallout Shelter. I would play Fallout 4 to try out this Fallout London mod. PC Gamer here, PC Master Race. Could be cool. Real quick, let's check out some of these images. Again, these are all a modding team. I don't think this is the official Fallout team that's doing this. No, it's not the official Fallout team that's doing this. Yo, looks kind of good. Not even kinda, it actually looks really good. Wow. I know I'm going through the pictures again. Yeah, this looks good. Sorry, console players. That probably isn't the news y'all wanted to hear, but you knew what you was getting yourselves into when you bought a console instead of a PC. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you like what you heard, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard and you made it this far, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. It's the Gaming Zone. Peace.